Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain for You. Today I want to talk about fear, and the topic of this video is don't give in to the fear. And so we'll get to that in a minute. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. Breathe in the knowledge. Exhale the uncertainty. Breathe in the bravery. Exhale the fear. That last one's for you. Whatever positive you want to breathe in, whatever negative you want to breathe out. So, don't give in to the fear. Another word would be don't give in to the freak out. So, I've talked about this before. Chronic pain, chronic symptoms, chronic whatever's going on with you, if you've done the assessments and figured out that it's this mind-body syndrome, it feeds on fear and attention. It literally does. If you continue to give your symptoms, these sensations, your attention, and add on top of that the fear, that's a really good recipe for these symptoms to stick around and stay persistent. So when I say don't give in to the fear, there's a reason for it, because fear is what fuels these chronic symptoms. So does the attention. And frankly, when you are fearful of something, it's going to be really tough for you to direct your attention back to living life, right? And when I tell people, live the best life you can, given your circumstances, but shift your focus back to living. Try to have some fun. They go, but Dan, how can I do that? This hurts so bad. It's probably because there's a lot of fear there, right? And so pain is supposed to get our attention. You know, our primitive brain, when we get hurt, our primitive brain basically screams, ouch, something bad just happened to me. There must be an injury or something. Did I burn myself? Did I poke myself? Did I cut myself? Did I break something? Right? That's just the way we evolved. You know, our primitive brain says pain equals do something, right? Change something. And so this is where the TMS, the mind-body approach, the pain-for-you approach that I often recommend is kind of counterintuitive. Because by nature, we're supposed to do something when we feel pain. The animal kingdom does. You ever see a dog hurt his foot? He immediately reacts. Now, he doesn't catastrophize and think about, what if this never heals? I might, be limping around on 3 legs for the rest of my life. He just simply picks up his paw off the ground and hobbles around and goes and rests and maybe licks it and kind of tries to soothe the pain. That's what nature was intended for. In the case of the mind-body syndrome, pain's created in the brain. And so it's really a false danger signal. It's a false alarm. It's like the fire alarm is going off in your house, but there's no fire because there's no damage and there's no injury. And so when I say don't give in to the fear and don't give in to the freak out, I'm doing that because that's what helps to turn it off. As long as you're running around screaming, oh my God, your brain is going to interpret that as something actually happened. Something is actually wrong. It's not going to turn off the pain when the brain perceives that there is something significantly wrong. So how do we not give in to the fear and the freak out? That is how nature designed us, right? Again, pain is supposed to get our attention. You touch a hot stove, you better feel the pain and you better do something about it. So otherwise you're going to melt your skin. So how do we turn off the freak out? How do we turn off the fear? As you've heard me say, it basically goes back to Sarno's approach, which was knowledge therapy. Because once you realize that pain does not necessarily mean damage or injury, then you can use your intelligent thinking, cognitive brain to teach the primitive nature brain to calm down Hey, guys, false alarm. We checked the building. There's no fire. Somebody set the fire alarm off, but there's no fire. So, calm down. Right? And so we use knowledge. We use the assessments. The assessments which basically say, well, if that's what this mind-body syndrome is, does it apply to me? And if the answer is yes, you just turn the fear down a notch. And if you can remember that, especially when the symptoms or the sensations are high, you don't have to give in to the fear because you know what's going on, because you've done the assessments, and you get the fact that these are just false danger alarms going off. And so if you know that there's actually nothing structurally wrong with you, your fear is just going to be less. Now, I understand that the sensation called pain or other symptoms can be very unpleasant. It doesn't matter what symptoms you have, they can be unpleasant. But is it the actual sensation that's unpleasant? Or is it our thinking about the sensation and the fear-based catastrophic, oh my God, if this goes on forever, my life's going to suck forever? Is it that that's so unpleasant? Or is it the actual sensation? I don't know about you, but the dentist is a good analogy because there are certain procedures in dental offices that are less than pleasant, right? You know, you ever get that shot of Novocaine and really hurts. Because we don't have catastrophic thinking, and because we say to ourselves, it's temporary, and we know it's temporary, we don't freak out. We suck it up and we deal with it. But our imagination doesn't go crazy because pretty soon it's going to be numb. And you might be a little sore for a day or two afterwards if there's lower jaw. But the point of the matter is, we can deal with pain or sensations that are uncomfortable as long as we don't think they're forever, right? And so, if you've done the knowledge part and you've learned about TMS and you've done the assessments and says, yeah, this is what's going on for me, you have knowledge that you've now just made personal to say, it's just the mind-body syndrome. And oh, look at all these people who are getting better. So it must be temporary. So I should be able to learn how to do that too. And so these are ways that you can utilize knowledge and personalization, making it apply to you to turn down the fear and not give in to it, right? Not give in to the freak out, which is the natural response of, ouch, something hurts. So the other things that I will tell you is that, you know, if the pain spikes and you end up floored and holy cow, this is bad, it's the worst it's been or worst it's been in a while, very easy to immediately jump back to the freak out because that's kind of nature's, you know, designed response to pain. But it's our job to really go, time out, let's stop. Yeah, it's really kicking my butt right now, but I know what's going on. I've done the assessments, and I don't have to figure it out. I don't have to know exactly why the pain flared or the symptoms flared and got worse. Because searching for that answer is just going to frustrate you because it's really tough to know exactly what happened to cause it to flare. I've said recently in a couple of private conversations, the only thing predictable about TMS is its unpredictability. Don't try to figure it out. You don't have to. Your primary job in trying to get well is to teach your brain that you're already well. That it's all just false alarms and that pain flare-up just means, you know, the brain was perceiving some kind of danger, movement, social situation, relationship, stress, tension, work, boss, kids, parents, whatever, and the pain level went up. Now, that doesn't mean you got to go fix all of those potential stressors and potential sources for negative emotions. We don't have to, you know, cut these people out of our lives. And even though the past history may be that when I hung out with so-and-so and they pissed me off, my pain went up, yeah, that's history. But now that we know about this thing called the mind-body syndrome, TMS, and we've done the assessments, we know that we can teach our brains that Aunt Sally doesn't have to mean pain for the rest of my life. She can still be annoying. I can still get stressed out. But I can disconnect. I can sever the relationship between stress and negative emotions and pain. How do we do that? Accurate knowledge. By not giving in to the fear. By not freaking out. So, all the things I talk about really support turning down the fear. The knowledge, the assessment. Feel your emotions. If you're terrified of your emotions, best way to become unterrified of your emotions is to begin a gentle but regular practice of feeling them. When you feel upset, allow it. Don't go exploding on everybody around you, but just allow yourself to feel it. That's an inside job. Then we want to soothe ourselves. We want to breathe deeply. We want to allow ourselves to settle into wherever we're sitting or laying down or even standing. You can let your shoulders relax. Breathe a little bit deeper, like we do in the beginning of the videos here. That's soothing the body. That turns off the primitive, natural reaction to the pain because, well, it can't be that serious if he or she is breathing in a very nice, calm, serene way. Then if we can calm down our thinking, not listen to the voice inside that screams, "Oh my God, that hurts. Wonder what happened now. Did I hurt something? Did I break something? Did I injure myself?" We don't have to listen to that. We can choose to become aware of the fact that we're doing that and shift our focus to, okay, what was going on? Something happened emotionally? Maybe, maybe not. If you can connect the dots to an emotional experience, then absolutely. You know, somebody recently visited the grave of a family member, and right afterwards the pain went up. And if that's you, thank you for sharing that story. And it was clear that it absolutely was an emotional response to visiting a grave of a loved family member. And look for things like that in your life. If you feel your tension, stress, emotions go up, the pain goes with it, jot it down. That's absolutely evidence of TMS in action, the mind-body syndrome in action. Once you have a couple of examples from your own experience, not just things you read about or a case study you learned about or read or watched a video on, but actually your own examples, you can say, now it makes sense, and that's proof. What does that do? Turns the fear down. Right? So soothe your body, calm your thinking. You don't have to believe the catastrophic, fearful, OMG thoughts. Then you learn to become less of a person to freak out and be more of a person to say, okay, whatever, I've hurt for 6,000 days in a row, so I'm hurting again today, or I'm feeling not well today from whatever symptoms. And okay, so what? Been there, done that. Made it through all those thousands of days before this one. I'll make it through this one. I'm going to shift my attention to how much fun can I have today? How can I engage with the outside world a little bit more today? And when you start saying to the brain, whatever, I don't care if I hurt or not. I don't care if I'm uncomfortable or not with whatever symptoms I've got. I don't care. And I'm going to shift my attention to seeing, how I can engage in the outside world. Not the inner world of your head and your thinking and your trying to fix, but the outside world. And so these are the various types of ways of using your conscious, thinking, intelligent brain to talk yourself off the ledge, right? Because a lot of times when the pain hits us and hits us hard, or the symptoms hit us hard, it can feel like we're on the ledge and about ready to go into the abyss. And this is your opportunity to take yourself by the hand, say, hey, come here, let's have a chat. It's all right, you're going to be okay. And look, if you are trying to get to indifference and that feels impossible in the moment, or where you are right now in your journey, You don't have to start with indifference to make progress. Just try to step away from the freak out and the fear and move towards an attitude of indifference, an authentic one where you truly believe it. And if you're just walking around saying, I don't care, followed by 10 F-bombs about the pain, you clearly do care. Indifference really means like, I'm hurting, but so what? I'm going to have some fun, do something else, right? In between, there's the choice to reassure yourself. And this is where the intelligent thinking, parenting brain, your own parent, you're parenting yourself to reassure yourself and say, it's okay. You're going to be okay. We know exactly what this is. We know how it works. So your only job is to not freak out. Your only job is to chill, relax, calm down, and teach your brain through your actions and through your chosen response to some of these wild symptoms that you're not in danger. The more you run around screaming, oh my God, and, having the catastrophic thinking about how awful your life's going to be, the more the brain perceives that there's danger, and the symptoms are going to stay because you're feeding it with the fuel and attention of fear. And so your job is to, in as many ways as possible, and I've given you half a dozen different ways, convince and sell your brain on the fact that you're already okay and that none of this stuff is that big of a deal. I hope that makes sense. So, somebody's trying to get my attention. I've got a call in about 8 minutes. So I'm going to wrap up this video for now. Have a great Wednesday. And I guess we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Love you.